press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, in the previous class we have started a new chapter that is on weather, climate and adaptation of animals to the climate. And in the first class we have studied what exactly weather means. Okay, so what is weather? Weather means it is atmospheric condition on a day-to-day basis with the respect of temperature, humidity, rainfall. Okay, based on all these elements we conclude the weather of the place. Okay, so we might get confused or we use it as a synonym, right? So weather and climate. Okay, but in this chapter as we study in detail we will know what exactly weather means and what exactly is a climate. Okay, so basically weather is nothing but atmospheric condition based on the elements like temperature, rainfall, humidity, wind speed, clouds, etc. So based on these elements it is the day-to-day condition. Okay, not only day-to-day condition, also it changes on hourly basis. Okay, sometimes when you might have observed morning till afternoon it will be very sunny and by the evening it started to rain or it feels cold. Okay, that is the weather. Okay, the morning weather was very hot but the evening weather was very cold or it started to rain. Okay, so a short duration. Okay, either it will be on hourly basis or on a day-to-day basis. So that is exactly what weather means. Okay, and basically this weather is based on the elements like temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed and clouds. Okay, so these are some of the elements on which this weather condition is based. Okay, and this weather changes from place to place. Okay, it differs. Different places have different weather condition. Okay, here right now it's very sunny, but in the other district or another place it might be even colder, or even hotter than this. Okay, so that depends. Okay, so weather changes. It depends from place to place. Okay, and even the seasons. Okay, we have summer season, rainy season, winter season, etc. Right? And the change in the weather is not only on day-to-day basis or hourly basis like morning to evening. It even changes in the months, right? So in summers it's very hot, it's very dry, right? But in rainy seasons we get too much of rains. Okay, so in cold winter season we'll feel very cold. So that is the basic phenomena of these seasons, right? So this is because based mainly on the temperature, rainfall and all those elements I mentioned earlier, right? Yes, in summers we have a very hot condition, okay, and in winters it's very cold. And even if we take an example of a single day, morning or afternoon it will be very hot, by the evening we'll feel cold, right? So why what exactly or why is this why does this happen? Okay, what is the reason behind this? Okay, changes in the season and change in the temperature or rainfall in a typical day itself. Okay, so what is exactly weather? It is the change in the atmospheric condition on daily basis, or even you can say on hourly basis also. It does change, right? Based on what? Based on, yes, temperature, rainfall, humidity, etc. Okay, so these are the elements based on which, okay, based on the temperature. Now we'll say the weather is very hot. Why is this? Because it's because the temperature is very high. Okay, So when we say it's raining heavily, it's because the rainfall, okay, the rain what we get is too much to handle. Okay, that's what we say, it's raining heavily. So these are the main elements of weather by which we can say what exactly the weather is right now. Okay, so basically weather is nothing but the day-to-day condition, right? So it is a day-to-day condition of the atmosphere. Okay, so that is our weather. Now the question is, why there is a change? Okay, so why do we have hot mornings or cold evenings? Or why in summers we have too much of hotness, or why it's too dry and everything? Okay, the reason is yes, we all know that earth revolves sun, right? So if this is the sun, yes, okay, so this is the sun. Okay, so yes, if this is the sun, and what we have here is, for example, there is an axis here and this is the earth. Okay, right? And we do know earth revolves around the sun. Okay, also earth rotates itself. Okay, so this is the axis, earth rotates itself. Okay, so when it is rotating, so this is the part of the earth which gets which is more closer to the sun, right? So this is the part. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, so while it is the rotating, so earth rotates itself, right? It rotates on its own axis. Okay, so this is the axis, earth rotates itself. Okay, so what happens while it is rotating? So this is the part, or this is a region which is more closer to the sun. Okay, and the period for one rotation, okay, so one complete rotation, this earth takes 24 hours. Okay, so what is this 24 hours? 24 hours is equal to 1 day, right? So during a day, earth needs a single day to rotate itself. So while this region faces the sun, that's why the mornings and afternoons are very hot. Okay, by the evening, okay, so this rotates. Okay, this region comes the other side, and this region comes to this side. Okay, so that is the reason by the evening we'll feel cold, or it is the temperature is very lower than that of this morning or afternoons, right? So during afternoon, exactly the earth will be very close, or exactly very near to this sun. Okay, so that is why during afternoons it's very hot compared to evening, morning. Okay, so this is the reason for the change in temperature in a single day. That is the rotation of the earth. Okay, so rotation, earth rotation. Okay, this is the reason for the change in temperature in a day. Okay, so on a daily basis, so this is rotation is the reason, earth rotation is the reason why we have hot mornings and cold evenings. Understood, right? And for one rotation it takes 24 hours, that is 1 day. Okay, also, okay, so this is about rotation. So while it is rotating, it also revolves the sun. Okay, so it revolves. Okay, it keep on revolving the sun. Okay, yes, so when it is revolving around the sun, see, and if it comes here or anywhere, okay. So for one complete rotation, if the earth started rotating from here, sorry, revolving, okay, when it started revolving, okay, for one rotation it took 24 hours, right, to rotate itself. It took 24 hours or a single day, okay. So that is the reason we will have hot mornings and cold evenings, right. So during the revolution, okay, the earth revolves around the sun, and one complete revolution takes 365 days. So what is this 365 days? A whole year, right? 365 days is equal to how much? 1 year. Okay? So, and when the earth is very closer to the sun, that's when we'll have summer seasons. Okay, and while it is far away from the sun, okay, somewhere here or something, okay, that's when we'll have colder season, winter, and even it's far, we'll have rainy seasons. Okay, so earth revolution, okay, so earth, this is the earth, yes, so earth revolution is the reason for change in seasons. Understood, right? So the earth revolution is the reason for the change in seasons. Okay, when the earth is very close to the sun, we'll have summer seasons, and when it is far away, we'll have winter and rainy seasons, like that. And earth rotates itself. Okay, so that it rotates on its own axis. Okay, so that rotation is the reason for the change in temperature in a single day. Okay, so this is the reason why we have different seasons and different temperatures even in a single day. Okay. So, and now we know this sun is the ultimate source of change in temperatures, or change in the climatic condition. Okay, so sun is the ultimate energy. So what we have, so because of this sun, the heat what we get, we have different seasons and different temperature even in a single day. Okay, so this is the reason why we have different temperatures. Okay. Now let us see how do we measure the temperature. Okay, one of the important element to say the weather condition is temperature. Okay, so how do we measure the temperature? Yes, in the previous classes we have seen what is temperature. So what is temperature exactly? It is the hotness or coldness of an object, right? So that is temperature, and that is measured by the device called thermometer, right? We have seen two types of thermometer, clinical laboratory and all that, right? So basically thermometers are the one to measure this temperature. Okay, and the thermometers we studied, clinical thermometer, right? So that is that is used to measure only the body temperature. Okay, when we are measuring the temperature of a whole day or a specific area, the different thermometer is used. Okay, so that is maximum and minimum thermometer. Okay, so the thermometer is used to measure the temperature of a single day, or a few days, okay, not on a single day or even the days, okay, that is a maximum and minimum thermometer. So how does thermometer looks like? It has a glass tube, right? It is a long narrow glass tube. It had a mercury, it had a king, that is a bent structure, okay. So this is the basic structure of the thermometer, right? We have learned this, okay. Similarly, even this thermometer is made, but there the structure is yes. That thermometer what we studied, the laboratory and clinical thermometer, had a long narrow glass tube, right? But here we have U-shaped glass tube, okay. Yes, and we have temperature readings here. Okay, so this is how it looks like, the thermometer. It has two glass tubes. It is a U-shaped glass tube, okay, and yes, we have a covering here, okay. We have still a glass covering here, okay. So basically this is the structure, and while we are having two glass tubes here, yes, of course the name is maximum and minimum thermometer, okay. So what is the maximum? That means a highest recorded temperature, okay, and minimum is the lowest recorded temperature, okay. So both the temperatures are recorded in a single thermometer. That is why we have two glass tubes, okay. One shows the maximum and one shows the minimum temperature, okay. As you can see the readings, it starts from 0 to yes 50 here, okay. That is the maximum temperature we can see, okay. So this glass tube shows the maximum reading of temperature, while this glass tube shows the minimum reading of the temperature, okay. We have two glass tubes here, one shows the maximum while the other shows the minimum temperature, okay. And here again, so what was the the basic liquid material what we used in this clinical thermometer? Yes, that was mercury, right? And yes, we have, yes, it has, of course it has many advantages, right? It is liquid in room temperature, it is the non-metal, it is the only non-metal liquid in room temperature, right? So it has many advantages, okay. But it did have a disadvantage, that it is very harmful and very hazardous, okay. So when the thermometer breaks out, it is very poisonous to the one surrounding the thermometer, okay. So that is the reason again we switched to some other substance instead of this mercury, okay. So that's why we use this alcohol, right? Okay, and yes, even in this thermometer, that is maximum and minimum thermometer, we have alcohol. So we don't use mercury in this, we use just alcohol as a metal, like as what mercury did, okay, to record the temperature, okay. So this is the alcohol is used in this thermometer to measure the temperature, that is maximum and minimum temperature of a place, okay. Okay, clear? So this records highest temperature of a place, also at the same time it even records the lowest temperature of a place. Okay, Now let us see again one of the important factor, that is rainfall. Okay, so how is rainfall measured? Yeah, like temperature is measured by thermometer. This rainfall is measured by an instrument called rain gauge. Okay, so remember the terms. Okay, rain gauge is used to measure the rainfall of a particular place. Okay, and temperature is measured by the thermometer. Okay, so you might have studied in GK or generally right. So when we ask which is the highest place in India that gets heavy rainfall. Okay, so we see Cherrapunji or something. So how do we know it is the it gets the highest rainfall? Okay, so there is something to measure the rainfall, right? So that is the using this instrument rain gauge we measure the rainfall a particular place gets. Okay, so rain gauge looks something like this. Okay, this is the structure of a rain gauge. Okay, it has a glass cylinder structure, and there is a holding. Okay, so here there is a holding. Okay, so this is the structure of rain gauge, and this is the funnel. Okay, and this is the inner cylinder, and this is the outer one. Okay, so this is the structure of rain gauge, and what happens here is if you are having funnel here. Okay, so when the rain falls, when the rain falls in this funnel, the cylinder, the inner cylinder, it gets filled. Okay, and it is having readings on a millimeter range. Sorry. Okay, so when the rain falls, the inner cylinder gets filled with the water. Okay, so first this inner cylinder gets filled. Okay, so while this is getting filled, it has a reading. Okay, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Okay, it has its range. Okay, say around 25 millimeter. Okay, so while this inner cylinder gets filled, and still it's raining, the outer cylinder also gets filled. Even after filling of this inner cylinder, the outer cylinder again keep on gets filling up. Okay, so what we do is, while it's raining, so after it stopped, we'll take the reading of this inner cylinder. Okay, so while we take a reading of this inner cylinder, it has some range. Okay, say 25 millimeter. Okay, so we'll this is the maximum range. Say it is a maximum range what we have here. Okay, so while we have this 25 millimeter, so we'll take this reading, and after that what we'll do is, we have a rainwater collected in this outer cylinder. Okay, here we don't have any readings to take it out. So we'll pour out this water. Okay, we'll pour out somewhere. Then what we do is, again we'll fill this inner cylinder with this water of the outer cylinder. Okay, and again we'll take reading of that cylinder. Understood, right? So first the inner cylinder gets filled up, and we'll note down the reading. Okay, when it's completely get filled, say it about 25 millimeter. Okay, so again this outer cylinder is not having any readings. Okay, so what we do is, outer cylinder when this inner cylinder is completely filled, we'll pour out this water. Okay, and again this water of the outer cylinder, we'll pour this in. Okay, we'll pour this inside in the inner cylinder, and again we'll calculate the reading. So how much the length of the cylinder is covered with the water. Okay, so that's how we do. Again if it's get full, again we'll pour out, then the remaining water again we'll pull down. So that is the procedure, and we'll calculate. They say the first inner cylinder is some 25 millimeter, and then when we poured out the water from the outer cylinder, say it had some 20 millimeter. okay, or again it had some, you know, some 2 millimeter or something. Okay, again say it is 25, that's when it gets completely filled. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll add this up, okay, and we'll say, okay, this much water, okay, after adding, you know, after using all this water, after measuring it, that's how we'll say, yes, this much water or this much millimeter of water we have collected, or that is what, that is how much it had rained. Okay, so that is how we'll take also. And we have a range. Okay, so when we say it is raining heavily, okay, so how much is that heavy, right? So that is the question here. So when you are saying it is raining heavily, so how much is that heavy rain? So low rainfall, okay, low rainfall means it is less than 0.1 inch per hour. Okay, so this is important. So while we are measuring the rainfall, it's not like whole day, even if it's rain, if it's raining on a whole day, we'll collect the whole day readings. No. So when it starts raining, we'll just take an reading of an hourly basis. Okay, we'll take reading on an hour. Okay, so how much it has rained, okay, how much the water has been collected in a single hour. So based on that reading, we'll know whether if it's low, medium or heavy rainfall. Okay, so here 1 inch is equal to 25 millimeter. Okay, and when I am saying 0.1 inch, less than 0.1 inch means it is less than 2.5 millimeter. Okay, that's how we'll calculate. This is the low rainfall range, and moderate rainfall range is 0.1 to 0.3. Again the unit is same, inches per hour. Okay, and yes, when we say heavy rainfall, that means more than 0.3 inches per hour, 0.30 or s. Okay, so this is how we'll have a particular range for low rainfall. Okay, or we'll have a particular measurements. Okay, ideal measurements to say if it's low, medium or heavy rainfall. Okay, for the low rainfall, the water collected should be less than 0.1 inch per hour. Okay, so that is important. It is read, on an hourly basis. Okay, so 0.1 inch, yes, 1 inch is equal to 25 millimeter, right? And when I say 0.1 inch means it is 2.5 millimeter. Okay, and for the moderate it is 0.1 to 0.3 inches per hour, and for heavy it is more than 0.3 inches per hour. Okay, so this is how we'll calculate rainfall. Okay, just remember, to calculate rainfall we use instrument or a device called rain gauge, and this is the structure of a rain gauge. It has two cylinders. First the inner cylinder gets filled and we'll pour that water out, and again after filling of this inner cylinder, outer cylinder gets filled with this water. Okay, so again we'll pour out. So that's how we'll measure the whole water collected in a rain gauge. Okay, and then we'll see, okay, the range. Okay, that's how we can say in a particular place if it's raining, if it gets heavy rainfalls or low or moderate rainfalls. Okay, so this is some of the important elements of the weathers. Okay, so weather is nothing but the day-to-day atmospheric condition. Okay, and that is based basically on the elements like temperature, rainfall, etc. Okay, so this is something, some of the important elements about the weather. Okay. Okay, so this is for today's class. In the next class we will see what is climate and how animals are adapted. Okay, adaptation of animals to the climate. Okay, Okay, so in today's class we have learnt about the reasons behind the difference in the temperature variation in a day or even during the seasons. Okay, and in a single day we have different temperatures. That's because of the earth rotation. Okay, and in the year we have different seasons. That is because of the earth revolution. Okay, and we know that sun is the ultimate source of energy for all this change in temperatures, right? And yes, we have studied how this temperature and rainfall, that are the important elements of weather. Okay, how these are measured, right? So temperature is measured using maximum and minimum thermometer, and this rainfall is measured by the rain gauge. Okay, and in the next class, yes, we will study about more on this chapter. Thank you.